That didn't... It's not always in the first take. It usually is. Even that wasn't that good. It must be the patenty shine. It's affecting my skin.
It's because the box already knows we had a quality intro.
It could be because it's cold in here. Much better. Anyways, these guys right here, man. You know, the Jordan 1 is the best smelling sneaker of all time. Unless you throw in some like high quality, all leather, like those smell great. They smell like purses. But if you want that kind of smell, you could go into a store and stick your face in a purse. One that's on like a shelf or something, not in like a lady's purse, because that'd be f***ed up. Way to freak someone out. Excuse me, ma'am, can I smell your purse? I hope that's not a code word for...
It is.
Is it really?
Yes, we went over this in the game.
Okay, don't do anything I just said. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're taking a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here. This is the Air Jordan 1 High OG in the traditional classic black and red colorway, however, with a small twist. And clearly these are a little shinier than the last time they released. So this guy right here features patent leather instead of actual leather. However, before we get started with all the details, we do have a quick word from our sponsor, and that is the good folks over at the Wanted app. What is the Wanted app? Well, that's a great question. It's basically an app that collects and aggregates all of the resale information. So if you were looking for something like this, or maybe the off-white Jordan 2s, you would go to the Wanted app and it would basically filter through all of the apps for you. So that includes GOAT, StockX, Flight Club, and it will tell you what the fairest price is based off of previous sales. That way you're not getting too ripped off. I mean, I don't want to say you're not getting ripped off, but that way you're not getting too ripped off if you happen to be interested in anything after the release date. Now, it's not just a platform that aggregates a bunch of information. It also allows you to store your collection within it, so you have a digital record of what you have, as well as what it could be valued at. They have a fair price estimator letting you know what the last sales were so that you don't, pay too much over retail, even though you're already paying too much. So if all of that seems interesting to you, we have a direct link down below in the description box that will head you over to the Wanted app where you can read a little bit more about what they offer. And with that being said, let's go ahead, take a look at that outsole, man. What is that right here?
The greatest traction of all time.
You need to say it with a little more enthusiasm.
The greatest traction of all time.
That felt a little forced. Tone it down a little bit.
It's the greatest traction of all time.
Thank you very much, man. And yes, it is. This thing is so good, it'll pop your hip out. How do I know? Trust me, I've tried it. It's never been the same since. And then on top of that is a rubber cup sole. Inside of that is a PU wedge. Inside of that
is air.
That's why they're called Air Jordans. Not just because of his nickname. I know a lot of people think that, but if you go and look at the versions that are for kids, like the little ones that don't have any air inside of them, what are those called?
Sky Jordans?
They are. Thank you very much. That's a deep cut because they don't do that anymore. But yes, the reason why Air Jordans are called Air Jordans is not just because Mike liked to fly, but it's because in every single model there is air. And I'm talking every single one. Even the ones that you don't think have air, they've got air in them. A lot of people like to throw in the 20s as an example. They'd be like, there's no air in there, it's IPS. There is an air unit in them. Go look at a pair that's been broken apart. There is air in there. They actually did show it on the inside of the box lid too, where the shoes have a tech breakdown and all that stuff, where the shoe's blown apart, and it shows IPS plus air. Cool, right?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Now the upper on these things is where things really change, because obviously these are not leather, they're patent leather. They are actually made though of leather. So it's genuine patent leather, and I know that sounds weird because genuine and patent leather, they don't really go together, but what makes patent leather is the fact that it's leather with a patent finish over it. There's a certain time frame, I don't even know when, but Jordan Brand started using fake patent leather. I believe the 2003 versions of the Air Jordan 1 Mid, there was a 3-pack, there was a black and gold, a Chicago, and a UNC. I believe all of those were actually synthetic patent leather, so they were just kind of like a synthetic build with that patent finish over it. The 2008 Countdown Pack Air Jordan 11 was the same thing. I do not remember though if the 2000 and 2001 retros of the 11s were like that, or the 2006 DMP. I'm not sure. I don't remember everything. I remember too much though. Like this guy right here, I remember these from the original retros of the Air Jordan 1s back in my high school days. So that little keychain right there actually came with my black and royal Air Jordan 1s from 2001. It wasn't blue or red, it was actually just silver, but they were cool. And they came with the Jordan 1 retros of that year. That included the black and reds. That also included the Jordan 1 mid in that patent leather pack. And again, something that's different between these and that patent leather pack is that these are high tops. They're not mid tops. On top of that, we actually have a regular Wings logo, or it's not regular, but you know, we have the Wings logo right there, and it's not jeweled like it was on the original patent leather pack. Now, these things are actual leather, like I was saying before, so they're gonna be a little stiff to start off. The Jordan 1s that are made out of patent like this, I just consider them to be rain boots. These are damn near everything proof. They will show scuffs and things like that, but I mean, you could wear this pretty much in anything and nothing's gonna f with it, you know what I mean? Nothing will really f with the leather ones either, but the patent leather's got just that extra shine to it, you know what I mean? So it like really repels certain materials or liquids and all that kind of stuff. I have seen people online actually customize these into a matte version of the shoe, and they do look really cool like that. I will give them complete props. The only thing is that when you turn these into a regular Air Jordan 1, like looking, instead of it being shiny like this, on this particular pair, because the finish is so smooth, you don't get all of that cool texture within the leather that you typically do in the more traditional versions. So I don't remember what year mine are from. I think they're from like 2018 or something like that. Whenever they released the black and reds last time, I have that one, and those have a really nice texture on all the leather panels, and that's something that you would miss if you were to convert these into more like those. But again, it does look really cool, so I think that it's dope that people were actually smart enough to do things like that. I think that that's sick. Now, inside the collar, again, a little bit different. It says family in there. There's not the traditional, like where they would put like the size labels and stuff like that, or like where your sizes and then the codes. That's not on these for some reason. Instead, it's got the family stitching. I don't know exactly what that's for. I didn't read any product descriptions on these. I've had these for way too long because like the release kept getting pushed, and so like we were like, what are we gonna do? And you know, when we grab these from our local spot, Phenom, we can only put out our reviews about a week ahead of the release. So we might have had these for a long time, but we're just now talking about them. Speaking of Phenom, you will be able to get these over there. If you're in the Sacramento or Elk Grove area, make sure that you follow them on social, but not just that, get your ass in the store because they have not been releasing the stuff online. They're doing it old school, pre-social media days, when you actually had to go to stores, talk to people, and see what's what. That is pretty damn cool because that's how I've gotten quite a few releases from them recently, because I do check in like at least once a week. And when I go in there, sometimes there's some really cool stuff on the shelf that I didn't even know was coming. And so I get to buy it, and there you go. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size, but like I was saying, they are a little more stiff than the traditional leather build pairs, so make sure that you keep that in mind. The insole is ortholite. You can always change that to any type of insole that you want for a little bit of extra comfort. We personally choose the Move insoles. That's because we're part of their whole crew and all that stuff, which we appreciate. They do come with extra laces, by the way. It's red laces inside the baggie, black laces inside the shoe, and that's just pretty much what it is. Everything else though looks like a standard Air Jordan 1, nothing really to talk about. It's a classic colorway done in a really weird way. I'm not a huge fan of this. I just prefer the leather, but I'm not knocking anybody that does like the patent leather versions. Whatever floats your boat, man. It doesn't bother me one bit. But what do you think about these? I know that you're not a big fan of Jordan 1 highs. But done in shiny, is this like, you like this?
They're pretty looking. I'm just curious for the people who can't stand creases. How do you walk around in these? I just feel like these would instantly show anything.
I remember the mid-top ones, not only showing creases, but because of the patent on top. And
like, wouldn't it hurt?
I don't know about that because like my 11s don't really do that, you know what I mean? All I remember from the people that had the mid-tops is that yes, there was lots of creases and eventually it would crack. Like
yeah,
the patent leather, yep. That's what I had on my original 11s. One of my shoes had a hole in it. Anyways, with all that being said, these guys are finally releasing at select retailers on the 30th, I believe.
That's what I heard.
But a lot of places are not getting their stock in right now. So just keep that in mind. So if your local shop is like, we don't know when these are coming, it's because they're stuck on a cargo container somewhere. So the retailers that do have their pairs are allowed to sell their pairs on the 30th. Just know that the stock is going to be limited. So make sure that not only if you're interested that you do your legwork to try and get a pair yourself, but don't pay those resale prices right away because they're going to be inflated.
And they'll eventually show up.
That's the thing, is that the supply is skewed right now. So just be patient. They'll eventually hit retailers. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy cop because it's not. I'm just saying be patient and have some restraint. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Good luck if you're interested in grabbing a pair of these. Thank you so much once again. Happy holidays to everybody that celebrates. And until next time, guys, have a good one. My hands are freaking cold.
Are they? So cold.
I know, I told you.